things are changing by the day as we're seeing these teams turn and burn with their depth charts. Some due to injuries, some due to teams picking up new players, dumping players, whatever's going on. But we're seeing some stuff unfold here with the Miami Dolphins. Myles Gaskin is now gone. Jeff Wilson, news came out that he's going to IR. And now Raheem Mostert's now able to get a lot of run. And it's also given an opportunity for Devin Achane to break out, see some opportunity once he comes back from that injury. A very explosive running back prospect who was drafted in the third round this year's draft, who fits very well with the Miami Dolphins, a team that's very explosive, very fun to watch, and has a quick pace of play. This could be a match made in heaven for the young rookie. But before we dig into the stats, you must hit that subscribe button. Stop missing out as we do deep dives on these players every day to keep you informed for the waiver wire, for your drafts, for your strategies to help you win your league. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. Myles Gaskin was productive his last 2 years over at Texas A&M. 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Year prior, he was solid. But his usage in the passing game, catching 36 balls last year, 24 year prior, his explosiveness is what we're really looking at here. We're looking at the athletic specs. We're looking at the highlight tape. What does he do in space? What does he do with the ball in his hands? That's what we're interested here. He can run it between the tackles, but man, when he's getting the ball in the open field, catching it out of the backfield, or if they just pitch it to him in space, he's electric. He's a game changer, and he's a guy that could really help you out. And looking at this at his draft profile, he was drafted in the third round, 5'9", 188 pounds, but there are reports that he's pushing 2 bills right now, that he's getting thicker. Makes sense as you're getting ready for the NFL game, and he had the offseason to put into work for that. Prior for that, he was running track and stuff. So he was always running, always doing something. Didn't have that off season like a normal player would do because he's so electric, so fast. And you see this in the athletic specs here. 4.32 40-yard dash. Not many running backs can hit that level with that type of draft capital as well. Look at the name up there, best comparable player per analytics, Chris Johnson, because top tier speed can win in this league. 88th percentile speed score because it's adjusted by size, but speed wise 99th percentile. You cannot train speed, and you cannot train how good he is in the passing game. So those two things together is great for fantasy football, especially with an explosive offense, an explosive player on a team that wants speed, that wants to be fast-paced. This is a rookie that could give you a breakout somewhere down the line throughout the season you want to pay attention to. And this is a guy that you just want to stash and wait and see what happens. Looking at the usage last year, we got Jeff Wilson, IR. Myles Gaskin is gone. Raheem Mostert, a lot of you guys are going to be drafting up this weekend, and I may have to do another video on him because you guys are going to be talking him up here soon and want to know what to do with him. So be on the lookout for that. But looking here for Devin Achane, there's a lot of opportunity here, especially in the passing game. Looks like they want to utilize more targets to running backs, or they wouldn't have drafted them. They want to use that speed. They want to use that burst. They want to use that explosiveness. There's also an opportunity for carries. There's opportunity for workload. There's a lot of opportunity here in this offense. It's very ambiguous. Look for Raheem Mostert to do some things. Go ahead and draft him up. Look at the ADP, though. Draft him at your price, where you're willing to spend at, because this news that just broke out might bump him up too much, but you just want to pay attention here. But Devin Achane's going to see an increase in value too because of the opportunity here, the explosiveness, the draft capital. But you need to know who he is. I'm getting a lot of questions on whether they should draft him or not over the last few days due to Evan Hall and other running backs getting opportunities. He's a guy that when you draft him, you pay attention to him the whole season, and you hope for a breakout. You're expecting a breakout, and you don't know when it's going to happen. Could be week 1, could be week 15. You do not know when it's going to happen. It's a firework that you do not know when it's going to be shot off, and it may never shoot off. But these boom bust players, these rookies are like that, especially when they're drafted this part of the draft. You're getting him in round 11. That's changed. He's probably going to go up a little bit. He's probably going to see a little bit more value due to the upside, due to the opportunity, but that's okay. If you already have him on your roster, you just hold him, see what happens. You got lucky there. You can see if you can deal him redraft. It's not like Dynasty where you can deal players for Bix, deal players for this and that to really up your capital on your team. If you're looking to trade, you may be able to move up a little bit somewhere here and there. My advice is whenever there's a value change, try and kick the tires whenever possible. Redraft is a little bit harder for that, but you can if you want. But you got an asset here on your team. Lots of upside. Very explosive on an explosive offense. The price is right now, or at least it was. I think this is going to increase round 10, round 9 ADP. Home draft ADP is different. You're going to see him follow more drafts. Round 11 might have been too rich for that, maybe round 13, 14 or so. A lot of people will talk about where they draft a player at, and they're listed at like round 10, but they got him in round 14. You'll see that in the comments. Devin Achane here. Different value in different leagues. Draft him at your price, though, and understand he's an upside play. If you can't handle rookies who could go off on any minute, but bust on any minute as well, then you may want to go to something else. But if you realize he's a lottery ticket with huge upside, huge potential, that you may not cash out on, but you might cash big in as well, then that's a player you may want to chase, especially at this price tag. You need him because you need that lottery ticket. You need to shoot for upside, especially in the middle rounds. Those middle round players, a lot of them are just roster cloggers. Sure, they'll get you fantasy points. They may not fall on their face. You may not look stupid for drafting them, but you know what? If he falls on his face, Devin Achane doesn't hit, you can always turn back to the waiver wire. That gives you that fragility or the ability to be able to go to the waiver wire and turn and burn. Also, the upside's there. It can go anytime throughout the season or even next year. You do not know when, but you're holding this candlestick waiting for it to light, and it could happen at any moment. So that's why you're drafting him, because the upside is nuclear, and that's what you want. The downside is plummeting. That's also what you're looking into, and you do not want them or you do not need them because you don't want rookies. You're not interested in these rookies who could go up and down, be volatile, never hits, be explosive. You're not interested in that because you don't want to take that risk. You're not patient. You're not patient to wait on that player to hit, and you do not want to make those bad decisions because you're not patient, and you just want to go with somebody else who's consistent, who's a veteran, somebody you know, and that's understandable. You need to do what's right for you that allows you to make the best decisions in your draft. But all in all, Devin Achane, he's a firecracker player who can go off at any given time, and that's a player that you may be interested in because the upside's grand. We'll talk about Raheem Mostert some more, but I already had this ready to talk about. This news dropped, and I was just going to have to unload this now because everyone's going to be looking for content on Devin Achane. I had it already in my back pocket, and we're doing it right now and just dropping it on the channel. But if you like Devin Achane, let me know. If you're scared of him, let me know. He is coming back from an injury. We don't know how long that's going to be. It could be week to week, could be month to month, but when he's back, the upside is nuclear, and that's something you need to pay attention to. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video.